Hey y'all, and welcome back to another week's worth of dinners. Here in my pot I have simmering some potatoes, green beans, and some seasonings which include garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Let this boil for a while, and then next to that I've got pork chops frying up in a pan. And yes, these are from our farm. Here's the finished plate. We served it with some applesauce. On the next night, we had a white bean soup. I had used some ham to add some flavor there, and some navy beans. Along the side there, you'll see a cornbread muffin, and this was really good for such a cold night. Next up is chicken and wild rice soup. I got this recipe from Pinterest, and you cook it in your crock pot. It looks really kind of different, but it tasted so good, and the leftovers, all the juice soaked up the rice, and man, was it good. Next up, we've got a curry chicken recipe that I got from a new cookbook called Against All Grain. I think it's becoming pretty popular right now. Anyway, we did serve ours over rice, which she suggests cauliflower rice, but I didn't have that, so we just did regular rice. It's got turmeric, and that's what causes it to be very yellowish. Peas, carrots. It was just a really, really good meal. Leftovers also were good of this. And if you're not against all grains, just serve it over rice like we did. Alright, next up is just some regular old hamburgers, and I made some hash browns to go along the side. And this is the same hash brown recipe I use in my breakfast video. Here we have fish tacos. This is some bass that my husband and son caught on our local lake. I sprinkle it with some blackened Cajun seasoning and cook it on both sides in a little bit of coconut oil in a cast iron skillet. It takes probably about 3 to 5 minutes per side, and then you flip it over one time, another 3 to 5 minutes, and there you go. We were going to make tacos out of this, so here I have some flour tortillas, and I also have some low carb. Both of them were about half a pack each, so trying to use things up as usual. To put on our tacos, I've got some thinly sliced purple cabbage. And then next to that, I've got some regular iceberg lettuce, and of course, our Louisiana hot sauce. Here's my plate, and I had a little bit of black beans that I had cooked and froze, probably at least a month ago, and so I pulled those out, thawed them out in a pan, and that made a good side to go with our tacos for this night. Alright, the next night I still had some fish to use up, so I cooked it the same way. These are a little bit thicker pieces than in the skillet that I made the day before. Once again, just did the blackened seasoning, a little bit of coconut oil, and fried it on both sides. Now this I did flip over a couple times just to be 100% sure they were done. While this was going, I had some sweet potatoes in my canner. There's the fish again. And I've got 2 minutes left on those sweet potatoes there. To go along with that, I kind of did a clean out your fridge type of a vegetable dish there. In the bottom is the rest of the purple cabbage that we had for dinner the night before on our tacos. There are some mushrooms, some onions, some garlic, and I think that was all that I put in there that night. Now if you had peppers or anything else that you think would be good in that, maybe some celery, some squash, any of that kind of stuff would be really yummy, and just saute it up. Then I pulled my sweet potatoes out of my canner, so I wanted to add that little clip there. Canning potatoes is really easy, but it does take about 90 minutes in the canner. The next night, this is a big salad. I made a Greek dressing to go on that I got off of Pinterest, and I'd be happy to share the recipe. There's lettuce and spinach. Then there's carrots, tomatoes, sunflower seeds, and that Greek dressing there. And that was all that I put in it, but it was really, really good. And what I did is I mixed the spinach and lettuce up with the dressing, and then I laid the other vegetables and the seeds on top. This way, when you're at the potluck, it looks really pretty, and all the cucumbers and tomatoes will fall down to the bottom as people start getting into it, but it looks nice as you take it. And I have my hand here to show you how giant that bowl is, and you know there was nothing left by the time we came home, so that's great. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Last night here I made a venison roast in my Instant Pot, some homemade mashed potatoes, and opened up a can of green beans. I want to thank you for joining me in the kitchen this week for our meals, and I hope y'all have a great week.